In this video, I'm going to go through everything we know about Battlefield 5, including a list of everything we are getting. Now, this stuff is mostly confirmed. A few little parts have been brought to us by different sources, but you can expect to see all of this in the main release of Battlefield 5, with new information coming at EA Play on June the 9th. We'll start with key info, maps and locations, then move on to weapons, vehicles, gameplay changes, modes, and then some other interesting facts to finish off the video. Now, the biggest piece of key info is when we'll actually see gameplay. Of course, we've only seen a trailer so far, and many people have already made up their mind on whether they like the game or not, which isn't really very fair. The first time we'll see gameplay will be at EA Play, as I mentioned, on the 9th of June. You will also then see the game released on October 19th, with a beta and alpha coming before that, in a similar way to Battlefield 1. Starting with maps and locations, the game is of course set in World War II, however is moving towards a more alternative approach, focusing on areas of war that have not been documented extensively. This is a quote from the senior producer Andreas Morel. "We've all been through the beaches of Normandy, we've been there, we know what it's about. We wanted to deliver an unexpected take on the Second World War to portray the era through unseen locations and untold stories." In other words, expect a thematic continuation of BF1's globe-spanning presentation of World War I with some fairly controversial exclusions and inclusions. In terms of specifics, DICE haven't yet given us map names or exact locations, however they did say that we will see snowy Norwegian fjords and a sandy North African desert. DICE also mentioned Rotterdam, located in the Netherlands, which could provide a similar map to Amiens. Those who have a keen eye will be able to look at the concept art and work out where the specific locations are, however DICE have not revealed definitive info as of yet. Again, you will see this, hopefully, at EA Play. Now for something that has been fairly well documented, and to be fair, it was something the trailer showed off fairly well. We are of course talking about the weapons. Here is a list, but expect this to grow a lot when we get new information at EA Play. You can also expect all of these weapons to be highly customizable, as of course DICE are focusing on that in the new game. I'll go through them one by one, providing a picture in the background. You may recognise some from the trailer and some from other games. Of course, World War II weapons are fairly well known. We have the Sten gun, the Bren light machine gun, the SIG KE7, the MG42, the STG44, the Lewis gun, the M1928 Thompson, the MP40 submachine gun, the Irma EMP submachine gun, the Gewehr 43, the M1 Garand, the M1 carbine, the MP507, the MKV42, the Lee Enfield Mark IV, the Kar98K, the M1911, Luger P08 and Walter P38. Then we have the Piat launcher, the Panzer Schreck and the Panzer Faust. You also have a katana sword and a cricket bat for some reason or another, again linking into that alternative World War II stuff we don't usually see, and of course customization theme that DICE are going for. In terms of some more specific weapon and gunplay points, random bullet deviation is apparently no more, meaning a return to the more traditional classic FPS style of fixed recoil. This possibly means recoil patterns, allowing players to master certain weapons. Players will of course be exposed to the normal penalties caused by shooting and strafing, and constantly holding down left mouse button should not be as effective as it was in BF1. In addition to all of this, you should have bullet penetration coming to the game, meaning high caliber weapons can shoot through walls and damage or kill players. A pretty cool addition if you ask me. Finally, you will not spawn in with a full selection of ammo as many players will be used to. This means you need to visit a resupply station sitting at each of the captured objective zones, or go down the traditional route of finding a support player. You can also, interestingly, loot fallen enemies. All of these features link into a Battle Royale style game, taking some of the more prominent features from PUBG. As for vehicles, as the trailer showed, tanks and other vehicles can now tow stationary emplacements such as AA guns. This means tactics will change from match to match depending on the competency of your team. As for the list of confirmed vehicles, and a few that we are almost certain will get, here you go. I've accompanied them with pictures on screen as well. For Great Britain, we have the Churchill 57mm or 75mm tank, AVRE petard and gun carrier, and the A22D as well. We have the Valentine 57mm tank, the AEC scout car, the Spitfire, the Mosquito, and the Bristol Blenheim bomber. We'll of course see loads more added to the game. These are just the ones that we're certain we're going to get. As for Germany, we have the Tiger 1 88mm, the Sturmtiger, the Jagdtiger, the Panzer IV, the 75mm, the 75mm long barrel, and the flak variant. We of course have the Puma, the ME-109 fighter, and the Junkers Ju-87. Apologies for getting the pronunciation of these things incorrect, but they are of course going to be in the game, and I've included those photographs for those who can't quite understand me. You also have the Wolframen 40 mounted on a half-track, the Opel Blitz truck, a Volkswagen Kubelwagen, and other vehicles including the SD KFZ2 Kettenkrad half-track vehicle, and of course it's not strictly a vehicle, but the V1 rocket is included too. You can construct and rebuild fortifications on objective points. This includes sandbags, trenches, machine guns, barbed wire, and wall strengthening. The 64-player Grand Operations mode incorporates multiple modes across a 3 to 4 match narrative, like BF1's Operations, but with a couple of twists. Again, other videos go into this in more detail. Combined Arms provides 4-player co-op via procedurally generated missions. Squad members can revive each other even if they aren't medics. Stationary guns can be towed by vehicles, as I mentioned before. You can go prone on your back and turn 360 degrees with proper animations whilst prone. There are many other animations improvements too, including sliding into prone. Tides of War. This is the name of the ongoing update plan that EA plans to bring to players as we are taken through different theatres of war with different maps and modes. The first one is called Fall of Europe, however there is no proof that this will be limited purely to Europe and might overlap into other theatres. You can drag teammates to cover if they are downed, and when you are down by an enemy you can call for help or opt to bleed out faster if you know you won't be revived. There will not be a premium pass as DICE have decided to focus more on customization, microtransactions and a live service. There will not be loot boxes, however a huge amount of detail has not been revealed in that regard. Again, we need to wait for EA Play. We do not know for sure that cosmetic items will be available to purchase with real money and in-game currency, however I'm pretty certain that is going to be the case. You can customise your soldier both in terms of their outfits, appearance, and even choosing between a man or a woman character. Classes stick to tradition with Assault, Support, Medic and Scout. Each class will have a set of archetypes to choose from though, with different guns, gadgets and bonuses that enable specific actions or advantages depending on what you pick. All classes will be able to revive, however, medics can do that faster. In terms of modes, we have Conquest, Frontlines, Domination, TDM, Breakthrough, Grand Operations, Combined Arms, and War Stories. I imagine this will be added to on the main release and through the additional live service that we will see with this game. Squad play has also changed a bit. You will be automatically placed in a squad upon joining a match, although this has been something we've had in BF4 with server plugins. Respawning on squad mates is emphasised, and if your squad gets wiped, you have to wait 10 seconds, although that might be changed, before respawning. That's everything I know about the game so far. If you've got anything extra, leave it down in the comments. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.